Get that damned thing off the ship before it tears us all apart. Captain Halston roared, his voice echoing through the metal corridors of the UNS Vengeance. The crew, hardened veterans of countless conflicts, looked on in horror as the creature, a mass of rippling black muscle and cunning, snarled and strained against its restraints. The Vengeance had just returned from a secret mission to the fringes of known space, carrying a cargo that had sent shockwaves throughout the Galactic Alliance. Rumors had circulated for months about humanity's latest weapon, but no one could have anticipated this. As the beast was ushered into a containment unit by a team of heavily armored soldiers, Commander Ross, the ship's second-in-command, approached Captain Halston. "Sir, do you really think it's wise to unveil this creature at the council meeting? The alien representatives are already on edge." Halston smiled grimly, his battle-scarred face creasing in amusement. "That's precisely why we're doing it, Ross. Let them see what humanity is capable of. It's time we stopped playing nice." The Galactic Alliance Council Chamber was a marvel of alien architecture, a vast complex filled with representatives from hundreds of different species, each with their own agendas and fears. The chamber buzzed with activity as delegates debated, negotiated, and maneuvered for the future of the galaxy. The human delegation, led by Ambassador Strickland, was a relatively new addition, having only joined the Council 50 years prior. In that time, humanity had gained a reputation for unpredictability and resilience. The council room doors hissed open, drawing the attention of the gathered delegates. Captain Halston and his team strode in, the containment unit hovering ominously behind them. Whispers spread like wildfire through the room as the alien representatives caught sight of the foreboding black box. Ambassador Strickland, a tall, imposing figure, stepped forward to address the council. "Esteemed delegates, honored members of the Galactic Alliance, today we bring before you a testament to humanity's ingenuity and determination. Behold the latest addition to our military arsenal." With a dramatic gesture, Halston pressed a button on the control panel, and the sides of the containment unit slid open, revealing the creature within. It was a genetically engineered monstrosity, combining the most fearsome predatory species from Earth. Its eyes glowed with predatory intelligence as it scanned the room, muscles rippling beneath its jet-black fur. Gasps and fearful murmurs spread throughout the council chamber. Ambassador Zor, a spindly creature with translucent skin, rose to his feet, his voice quavering. "What is the meaning of this? Are you threatening us with this abomination?" Strickland shook his head, his expression one of mock innocence. "Not a threat, Ambassador. Merely a demonstration? This creature, which we call Cerberus, represents the pinnacle of our scientific achievements. It is a symbol of our strength and determination to protect our interests." Representative Korax, a massive creature with armored scales and a single eye, bellowed in outrage, "You dare bring this monstrosity into this sacred chamber? This is an insult." Halston stepped forward, his hand resting casually on the weapon at his hip. "An insult? No, Representative Korax. An insult is what we feel when our colonies are attacked by pirates, when our trade routes are ambushed, and when our people are slaughtered. This," he gestured to Cerberus, "is our response." The creature let out a low growl, causing several delegates to recoil in fear. The tension in the room was palpable, the air thick with barely restrained hostility and unease. Ambassador Strickland's voice was calm, but his words carried an unmistakable warning: "We are not here to threaten. We are here to show you that humanity will not be trifled with. We are prepared to defend ourselves and our allies at any cost." Cerberus is just one example of how far we are willing to go to ensure our survival. The room fell into a stunned silence, broken only by the soft hum of the containment unit, and the occasional snarl from Cerberus. The alien representatives exchanged uneasy glances, their collective discomfort growing by the minute. Finally, Ambassador Herion, a being of pure energy encased in a shimmering exoskeleton, spoke up, "Humanity's aggressive stance is a concern. We must find a way to coexist peacefully, or risk plunging the galaxy into chaos." Strickland nodded slowly. "Peace has always been our priority, but peace cannot be achieved through weakness. It must be built on a foundation of mutual respect and strength. Let this be a reminder that humanity should not be underestimated." As the human delegation left the council chamber, leaving behind a room of stunned and fearful alien representatives, Captain Halston allowed himself a satisfied smile. The message had been delivered, loud and clear. Humanity was no longer content to play by the rules of others, they would forge their own path, no matter the cost. And the galaxy would tremble in their wake. In the weeks following the demonstration, tensions escalated. A palpable shift in the balance of power across the galaxy. Alien news outlets played the unveiling of Cerberus on repeat, analysts dissecting every detail, politicians making grandiose statements. It was clear that humanity's message had been received, but the consequences were only beginning to unfold. Captain Halston stood in the command center of the UNS Vengeance, his eyes glued to the display showing the positions of various alien fleets. Intelligence reports indicated increased military activity among many species, and the signs of an impending confrontation were unmistakable. "Any news on the Corax's movements?" Halston asked without turning from the display. Commander Ross, his second-in-command, stepped forward. "Sir, our scouts report that the Corax have mobilized a significant portion of their fleet near the neutral zone border. They're conducting military exercises, but we believe it's a show of force." Halston nodded. "They want to test us. Let's make sure they're not the first to find out about Cerberus's power." Ross hesitated for a moment. "There's one more thing, sir. We've intercepted communications between the Zor and the Rians. It appears they're forming an alliance, possibly to counter the perceived threat from humanity." The captain's eyes narrowed. "An alliance. Interesting. They're afraid, which means our demonstration was effective. But it also means, we need to be prepared for anything." Before he could continue, the ship's communications officer interrupted. "Sir, there's a transmission from Earth." "Patch it through," Halston ordered, turning to face the display. The stern face of Admiral Bishop, Earth's military commander, appeared. "Captain Halston, we've received reports of increased alien activity in multiple sectors. Your orders are to maintain a defensive posture but be prepared to respond to any hostile actions. We're deploying additional fleets to key positions as a precaution." Halston saluted. "Understood, Admiral. We'll be ready." As the transmission ended, Halston turned back to his crew. "You heard the Admiral. We're on high alert. Double the patrols and keep all systems at maximum readiness. And make sure our friend in the containment unit is ready for immediate deployment." The crew sprang into action, the command center buzzing with activity. Despite the tension, there was a sense of grim determination. They knew the stakes, and they knew what was expected of them. Hours turned into days, and the galaxy held its breath. Reports of skirmishes and border conflicts continued to pour in, each incident ratcheting up the tension. It was clear that the fragile peace was hanging by a thread, and it would only take a spark to plunge the balance into all-out war. One evening, as Halston was reviewing tactical reports in his private quarters, the ship's alarm sounded. He rushed to the command center, where Commander Ross was already at his station. "What's the situation?" Halston asked. "Sir, we've detected multiple unidentified ships entering the neutral zone. They're heading towards one of our patrols," Ross reported. "Have they taken any hostile actions?" Halston asked, his mind racing through the possibilities. "Not yet, sir, but they're not responding to hails and they're heavily armed. It looks like they're trying to provoke us." Halston's jaw tightened. "All right, deploy our fighters and activate Cerberus. If they want a confrontation, we'll give them one." The ship's battle sirens wailed as pilots rushed to their fighters and soldiers prepared for combat. In the containment unit, Cerberus was awakened from its slumber, its eyes glowing with keen intelligence. As the Vengeance moved to intercept the unidentified ships, Halston watched the tactical display carefully. The alien ships were closing fast, their weapons systems active but not yet targeting. "Open a channel," Halston ordered. The screen flickered to life, showing the bridge of the leading alien ship. The Corax representative, his single eye glaring at Halston with barely concealed hostility. "Captain Halston, this is a restricted area. Your presence here is a violation of the treaty," the Corax commander growled. Halston was unmoved. "You entered the neutral zone first. We're merely responding to your provocation." The Corax commander sneered, "We're conducting exercises. Your presence here is unnecessary and unwelcome." "Unwelcome perhaps, but necessary," Halston replied. "Withdraw to your own space, or we will be forced to take action." The Corax commander laughed, a harsh sound. "You think your little pet beast can scare us? We've faced worse." Halston's eyes hardened. "This isn't about fear. This is about proving that humanity will not be intimidated. You have one chance to avoid a conflict that will cost you dearly." For a moment, the air was still. The tension was almost unbearable, each side waiting for the other to make a move. Then, without warning, the alien ships opened fire. "All hands to battle stations," Halston shouted. "Deploy Cerberus." The Vengeance shook as it returned fire, its weapons blazing to life. Cerberus, now fully awake and aware of the threat, was unleashed. The creature tore through the ship's corridors, heading for the deployment bay. As it was launched into the fray, the alien ships realized what they were facing. The battle was fierce and chaotic, a deadly dance of fire and fury. Cerberus moved with deadly precision, its engineered nature making it a formidable adversary. It tore through enemy hulls, its claws and teeth rending metal and flesh. The crew of the Vengeance fought with a determination born of necessity, their actions a testament to humanity's resolve. As the battle wore on, it became clear that the enemy had underestimated humanity. Cerberus was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of humanity's determination to protect its interests. In the cold, unforgiving expanse of space, that determination proved unstoppable. The battle raged fierce and brutal. Earth's soldiers, armed with everything from advanced weaponry to makeshift defenses, clashed endlessly with the Zorak enemy. Steel fought on the front lines, every movement calculated to inspire his troops and thwart the enemy's assault. Despite their initial advantage, the Zorak forces met fierce resistance. Earth's soldiers fought with the desperation of defending their very existence. Slowly but surely, the tide began to turn. In the command bunker, Hayes and the remaining team worked tirelessly to restore their systems. "Drones coming back online," Davis reported. "We can start counter-attacking the enemy fleet." "Do it now," Hayes ordered. "And patch me through to the general on the battlefield." Steele's communicator crackled. "General, this is Hayes. We're restoring the drones. Support is on the way." Steele laughed through the fatigue and sweat of battle. "Well done, Colonel. Keep it up. We're holding the line down here." With the drones restored and rejoining the fight, the balance of power began to shift. The Zorak fleet, once confident in their overwhelming might, now faced a fierce counter-assault from Earth's reawakened defenses. The skies filled with resurrected drones, slicing through Zorak ships with renewed vigor. Supreme Commander Nalka watched in horror as his forces were decimated. "This cannot be happening. How can they recover so quickly?" Admiral Zerak stood beside him, shaking his head. "The humans, they never stop. On the ground, Steele's forces pushed the Zorak troops back, reclaiming lost territory with every step. The Zorak had underestimated the tenacity and determination of humanity, a mistake they would pay for dearly. Steele looked to the sky, where Earth's drones performed their deadly dance among the stars. "Send a message to Nalka," he told Hayes over the communicator. "Tell him this is only the beginning. We will never stop fighting." As the battle raged on, Steele knew they had won this fight, but the war was far from over. The Zorak would return, and when they did, Earth would be ready to show them once again why humanity was a force to be reckoned with. Supreme Commander Nalka seethed as he watched the remnants of his fleet crumble under the relentless assault of Earth's defenses. The humans, with their unceasing resilience and determination, had once again turned the tide of battle in their favor. He could not endure another failure. The reputation of the Zorak Empire, and his own, was at stake. "Admiral Zerak, prepare the final option," Nalka ordered, his voice a low, menacing growl. "We will not be humiliated again. If we cannot conquer the humans, we will ensure their annihilation." Zerak nodded, understanding the gravity of the command. The final option was a weapon of last resort, one that would unleash a devastating wave of destruction, sacrificing the Zorak fleet but obliterating Earth in the process. It was a scorched earth tactic, but Nalka saw no other choice. On Earth, General Steele stood amidst the smoke and rubble of battle, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the next attack. His soldiers, though wounded and weary, remained resolute. They had defended their home against impossible odds, and they were ready to do it again. "Colonel Hayes, status report," Steele commanded over the communicator. "Sir, we've fully regained control of our defense systems," Hayes replied. "Our drones and orbital defenses are operational. However, we're detecting a massive energy buildup in the Zorak fleet. It's something we've never seen before." Steele narrowed his eyes. "They're up to something. Get our scientists on it immediately. I want to know what we're dealing with." As Hayes relayed the order, Steele turned back to the sky. The Zorak fleet loomed ominously, a threat that refused to disappear. Steele knew they were planning something. Minutes later, Hayes returned with grim news. "Sir, our scientists have analyzed the energy signatures. The Zorak are preparing to deploy a doomsday weapon. If they activate it, it will annihilate all life on Earth." Steele's heart raced. This is a desperate enemy's final play. "We need to act fast. Hayes, get me a direct line to the fleet commanders." In the command bunker, a flurry of activity ensued as Steele's orders were carried out with military precision. Contact was established with Earth's remaining fleets, and Steele laid out his plan. "Listen up, everyone," Steele began, his voice firm with resolve. "The Zorak are planning to use a doomsday weapon to wipe us out. We can't let that happen. We need to strike first and disable that weapon before they can deploy it. This is our last chance. Failure is not an option." The commanders nodded, their faces grim but determined. The fate of Earth was in their hands, and they would not falter. Above, the human fleet sprang into action. Fighter craft and bombers streaked through space, hurtling towards the Zorak command ship where the doomsday weapon was housed. Steele's plan was simple but audacious: disable the weapon's power source before it could be activated. As the human ships closed in, they met fierce resistance from the Zorak fleet. Laser fire and explosions filled the void, turning the battlefield into a chaotic maelstrom of destruction. But the human pilots, driven by the primal instinct to protect their home, pushed forward with unwavering resolve. On the bridge of the Zorak command ship, Nalka watched the approaching human ships with a mixture of grudging respect and rage. "Defend the weapon at all costs," he roared. "Do not let them through." The human fleet, led by Commander Jackson, fought their way through the enemy lines. Jackson's ship weaved through the enemy fire, his eyes locked on the glowing core of the Zorak command ship, the power source of the doomsday weapon. "Cover me," Jackson shouted to his squadrons. "I'm going in." With one final burst of speed, Jackson's ship broke through the Zorak defenses and fired a volley of missiles into the core. The explosion was blinding, sending shockwaves through the command ship and triggering secondary explosions throughout the vessel. In the command bunker, Steele watched the screens as the Zorak command ship erupted into a spectacular fireball. Cheers erupted from his team, but Steele's focus remained razor-sharp. "All units maintain defensive positions," he ordered. "We've won this battle, but the war isn't over." As the dust settled, the human fleet regrouped, ensuring no Zorak ships remained to threaten Earth. Steele received word that Nalka had been killed in the explosion. A fitting end for the tyrant who had sought to destroy their world. With the immediate threat neutralized, Steele addressed his soldiers, "Today, we have proven that humanity will not bow to invaders. We've shown the Zorak Empire that Earth is not a prize to be claimed, but a fortress to be defended. We will remain vigilant, and we will continue to stand against any who threaten our home. This is not the end, but a new beginning. Let this victory be a message to all who would challenge us. Earth stands strong, and we will never surrender." As cheers erupted across the battlefield and around the globe, Steele allowed himself a rare moment of reflection. The price had been high, but humanity had prevailed. The Zorak Empire had been dealt a crushing blow, one that would echo across the galaxy. And so, as the sun set on a war-torn Earth, the message was clear: alien fleets would continue to vanish near Earth, not because of some mysterious force, but because humanity, resilient and unyielding, would always be there to defend their home.